It's just so busy here in the O Canada Lounge between reporters, talent, actors.
It's insane.
It's insane, girl.
Paul, you are a Canadian makeup, fashion, everything beauty legend. Can you tell me first off, what got you into this business?
Well, I grew up with 9 sisters,
That'll do it.
that'll do it right there, right? And I've always enjoyed making women look beautiful. It's just something that I really take a lot of pleasure in.
And you do a wonderful job with it.
Thank you.
Now, you've done everything from Canada's Next Top Model to even doing the latest fashion, what's going on the Emmys.
Right. Well, I've done the Emmys, the Oscars, the Grammys. Always sort of identifying trends that we're going to see on the red carpet, and other times I'm getting the celebrities ready for the carpet. If I'm not in front of the camera, I'm behind the camera.
Now, your personality obviously is what got you there, and I'm sure your drive. But how do you decide, you know what, this is what I'm going to do for a living, and I'm going to go a step higher than everybody else. I'm going to be there at that red carpet.
Well, see, I come from a very small town in Canada. I'm from New Brunswick, and when I was growing up, none of this was even a possibility. I never knew that I could have a career doing what I do, right? So as I go along the way, I'm just always transitioning into new jobs, whether I started working in a hair salon to starting to do touch-ups on my clients, and then all of a sudden everyone looked fabulous, and I'm like, well, I really enjoy this part too.
And I'm good at it.
And I'm sort of good at it, right? And it just keeps transitioning like that. So, television was a progression for me that it just happened. And I'm very grateful it did, because I enjoy spreading the message of beauty, empowering women all over the world with a little lip gloss and eyeliner. What a gift.
Just
what
a
treat.
little, yeah.
What a treat.
And speaking of TV and bringing it all there, the Golden Globes are coming up. Can you tell me, what do you think we'll see a lot of on the red carpet this year?
I think we're going to see a lot of beautiful skin. Like we look at I'm sorry, what's her name? Natasha. Now we look at Natasha. Natasha has beautiful skin, very similar to Washington. We were just talking, Kerry Washington, yeah. So I think we're going to see a lot of beautiful, natural-looking skin tones. Probably a pop of color. There's always, when it comes to red carpet glamour, people love a smoky eye and a pale lip. Like they just do. There's something about it that just is appealing for most women. So I think that we'll still see a play of that on the eye. I don't think it'll be as muddy as we've seen it in the past, where it's like super heavy diffusion of color. We'll see beautifully sculpted cheekbones, probably pops of color on the mouth as well. I think it'll be very clean and sophisticated, because the big show, the Oscars, are coming. So the Golden Globes are a little bit more playful. So I think we'll see people having perhaps more of a relaxed time, maybe a little bit more relaxed with their hair, with their makeup. I think we'll also see probably a lot of tied back hair.
And when it comes to tied back, you would think that there's only so much that you can do with that. How do you go about doing the best type of hair? What do you think makes a person look better?
Well, we're seeing it two ways, right? We see a more casual updo, which is like, just that loose knot with a little bit of frailing hair, which is very soft and natural. But we're also seeing very slicked back ballerina-inspired type chignons as well. They're extremely popular. We saw Chanel did like the actual hair bow at the back of the hair, and a lot of designers are playing with that wet look now. The wet look is also very big. So I think now saying that, I think that we might see very clean ballerina-inspired type hairdos.
So with the casual, the clean, that type of look, somebody with hair like herself and like me, it doesn't take 1 or 2 bobby pins to put it up. It takes about 300. What do you suggest for people like us?
Okay, well, the real trick when you have a difficulty putting up your hair is to preset the hair with a styling lotion, so it allows the pins to have a grip in the hair, right? And to use bobby pins that are perhaps larger. If your hair is thick or you have a hard time keeping it up, use experiment with different types of bobby pins, because they will make your life either a lot easier or just make it one big mess.
Either or, as long as it holds it up for the night, you're good, right?
Exactly.
Now,
that's a real challenge, right? It has to stay up for the night. So on your hair or on her hair, it's like you'd have to use larger pens. And use a styling lotion as well. If you have super fine, thin hair, you want to put a styling lotion, set it, maybe curl it in advance, just to give it a different texture so that you're able to adhere to a tighter style.
Where do you
So many
learn all
tricks.
where do you learn these
I
tricks?
told you, I have 9 sisters. I've been practicing this stuff for a long time.
So is it really just a matter of experimenting and seeing what works?
Well, it is because everyone's hair texture is different. People have different issues. It's like, so it's really about just being experimental and maybe not experiment the night of your big event.
Aw.
Like, you know,
That's
like,
no fun.
I know. Well, unless you want to drive yourself crazy, feel free to. But the reality is that you should probably figure out what works for you so that you don't get caught in a pinch, right?
Now, when you see a bare canvas, somebody walks up to you and they say, I need you to make me beautiful. How do you decide what works for each person?
Well, I like to look at people's individual beauty, right? Some people have beautiful eyes that I think would be great to emphasize. Other people, it could be, a super high cheekbones that could be beautifully sculpted and highlighted and really become the showcase feature of the face. So it's always different. I look at people. I like to talk with people to see what their comfort zone is. Like, if I'm working with Lady Gaga, it's certainly going to be a lot different than working with, Kat Dennings or, Deborah Messing. So you have to sort of know who you're working with, and get that type of understanding and respect and comfort level, so that you're able to push them a little bit, because you don't want them to become, beige is a horribly boring color, but you want to add a little bit of color and spark on the carpet, or whatever that red carpet experience may be for you. This weekend it's the Golden Globes, but next week it could be your son's a bar mitzvah or a graduation or a job promotion, So you want to just make it always special and something that's unique to your personal style.
Of all the people you've worked with, there's got to be, not necessarily a favorite, but somebody who's let you go as far as you wanted to in making them what you think would look best. Who is it?
Well, that happens every day, right?
That's
just happened
good.
with
People
you and
trust
I,
you.
right?
It's true.
It just happened with you and I. I don't like. I don't know. I think that with each person, it's a very unique experience, and and perhaps once you've established like longer term relationships with people, then from time to time you find yourself like going like, okay, girl, we're gonna rock a smoky electric blue eye tonight and hot pink lipstick, and had you had suggested that a year ago, they would have ran out the door, called my agent and said, you gotta get rid of this guy.
He is fired.
Right? He is so fired. I want to look like Beyonce, honey. Right? So.
Which you could make happen.
Yes, of course. Well, look at seriously.
She is gorgeous.
Such a gorgeous palette to work on. But yeah, so I think that the more you establish a relationship with someone, the more chances that they're willing to take. You don't get much more of a personal relationship than with your makeup artist, because we are like right up in your face.
You smell what they had for lunch. You got it all, right?
Yeah,
Now, the way I get to know people, I have a signature question.
okay.
I believe that socks tell a lot about a person. And I would like to know, what type of socks do you wear?
Oh dear. I think today I may be wearing a pair of Paul Smith colorful rainbow socks.
Are they colorful rainbow?
I think so.
Could you show me?
Colorful socks are very new for me. Let me see. Let me see what I got. Oh, I don't. I have on a gray.
There's still some color in there.
There's color. I think there's a pink heel on this sock. But the reality is I was a classic black sock guy for years.
Really?
And then probably 2 years ago, I decided to wear this striped pair of John Viverdos or Perry Ellis. I don't know. It was one of those like bright colors Paul Smith, that I thought I would never wear. Anyhow, I put them on one day and I was like, I'm sort of digging this.
Doesn't it just give you a whole new feeling, a whole new outlook on life?
I'm going to say I don't know how much of a whole new outlook it gave me on life, but it certainly did relax things up a bit.
Well, I'm happy to hear you have some color in your sock wardrobe now.
Thank you. I live a colorful life. What can I tell you?
Thank you so much for the time. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.